Hello everybody and welcome back to Strange Horticulture. Once again, both the shop and the game. So we're at the end of the day, but we're gonna go somewhere and just see if we can happen upon anything. Just in case. We're gonna pick some of these different interesting locations and kind of see what happens. I'm sure that it'll probably be either nothing or something negative, but, you know, we're gonna give it a shot. More important things I could be doing back at the shop. Okay. Yeah. Alright. It was worth a shot. Alright. End of day. And into another card. Not long after the girl left home, her father wept, but he was so caught up in his own grief that he let her go and did not look for her. The old man of Coniston looks out across the lake with blind eyes. His mind wanders with the current floating gently southward to the fork. Interesting. Okay. So let's grab that card real quick. Old man of Coniston. So we're looking for a place called Coniston. It's near a lake. And we've got some storming going on. Coniston water, huh? The old man of Coniston looks out across the lake with blind eyes. His mind wanders with the current floating gently southward to the fork. So does it want us to go here? Yes, okay. The heavens open up as I reach the fork. I take a moment to pause and listen to the sound of water on water. I'm soaked through, but my spirits are high as I return home. I am not empty-handed. 2 new plants today. Fabulous. 2 different kinds of purple flowers. I'm sure those are going to get confused for each other. Okay. And our first customer of the day. Eleanor Brammer. The insects make the salt marshes uninhabitable. People stay away and not much grows there, but I know where to find an unusual plant. Okay. I have drawn you a map in case you decide it's worth your time. It absolutely is. Oh, and you gave me the will to explore for it, too. What a gem. Okay. So, we've got... So this is somewhere in a marsh. You've got... Huh. Yeah, it looks like that may be this area. And then you have the curve of the marsh. So right here is where she's saying to go. The air is thick with flying, biting insects, an unbearable plague. I fight against it for mere moments before I am overwhelmed. If only I had some blue winter to keep them at bay. Winter boar. Okay. Also known as blue aloe or blue winter, after its cool blue-gray flowers, winter boar is a hardy plant often growing in extreme cold environments. The rubbery leaves make an effective insect repellent when applied to the skin. So we want blue-gray flowers. I feel like... Is it... That's more purple. And a lavender toned. Oh, is it you? Hold on. Gray-blue flowers with an orange center. Hardy plant, known for growing in extreme closed. Rubbery leaves make an effective... Okay. Winter boar. That is what that one is. Okay. And we got... Duranthium, a plant with powerful mind-altering abilities. Those who inhale smoke from burning its long, sharp leaves elevate their awareness to levels otherwise unachievable. Some know Duranthium as Green Eye, a name derived from the telltale sign of overdose, where even the whites of the eyes take on a green tint. Okay, interesting. So this is winter boar, which is a insect repellent. That's useful, but not quite medicinal. We can archive that because I found what I needed. Interesting, okay. Is next the mailman? No. Thank you for your help and discretion earlier. The Sisterhood is grateful, but the news that the Arda was poisoned with gilded dendra has everyone worried. The temporary acting Arda is panicking. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but one of the sisters has gone missing, a runaway called Thea that we took in a few years ago. Okay. We're trying to find her, and Sister Charlotte remembered that the Jacobsworth plant is said to help locate people. Okay, so Jacobsworth. EFG identify. There we go. One of the few that we haven't identified yet here. Let's see. People tend to be drawn to the unusual flowers of the Jacobsworth, but it is the leaves that have the most interesting properties. It is said they will point the way towards any person you wish to locate, and have been used successfully to find many lost wanderers out on the fells. So, eye-catching flowers, unusual eye-catching flowers, but also multi-pointed leaves. Okay. You have unusual eye-catching flowers. Leaves seem to have a mind of their own. Jacobsworth plant identified. Okay, perfect. So, Jacobsworth for finding the missing. There we go. Alright, another one successfully tracked out. I read about a wonderful sounding ornamental plant, but my book didn't say what it was called or where to find it. What did it tell you? It has curled leaves and a dark blue flower. Curled leaves and a dark blue. That's the lemon one, isn't it? Hold on. Lemon dandy. Leaves curl around delightfully. Attractive flower with a hardy nature. Sought after ornamental plant. Lady of Summer. Where was it? Oh, used for memory conditions. It's in my other side here. Lady of Summer for memory. Why we keep these tagged. Alright, who's next? We've had our eye on you for some time now. Join us. Praise the Dendru. Interesting. I've been offered invitation to a cult. At the cat. I represent a group called Seeds of Redemption. Your expertise would be very useful to us, and we have much to offer in return. Let us know we can count on you by leaving a single St. John's poppy flower outside the Sadgill Church before Friday. Do not make the mistake of ignoring us. Praise the Dendru. Okay. Outside the Sadgill Church. Where was Sadgill again? Ah, there it is. Sadgill. I guess we're gonna join a cult, why not? Church isn't hard to find. The small hamlet of Sadgill. This must be the place. St. John's Poppy. Okay, we've joined a cult. Congratulations to us. What was the plant this was saying to... Red Ebony. Have I found a page for that yet? I don't think I have. No. As soon as I can, I'd like to identify that, but... if I don't have the page, I can't do much about it, so... Who's next? Verona Green. I have returned from Swinside. I must admit I was hoping for more to go on, but there was certainly signs of a ritual having been performed at the Stone Circle. Great. And the poor victim, well, the less said about him, the better. Reuben had it right, though, Grizzly. I have the beginnings of a theory, but I'd like to run some tests on a sample of the Gilded Dendra. Ah. Interesting. Gilded Dendra. Lips and... yeah, okay. Gilded Dendra. We can update this tag in a second. Successfully identified it. Gilded Dendra. Which means this would be the second killing recently with Gilded Dendra, if that does turn out to be what it is. So, Gilded Dendra... highly poisonous. There we go. Honestly, I was assuming someone unsavory would come and ask for it, not someone who's, you know, investigating. Ring-a-ding. My aunt died 2 weeks ago, and I inherited her house. Good on ya. I've been sifting through her possessions, and last night I found something unusual. Usually, yeah. In a forgotten corner of the attic, I found a coffin. More unusual still, it was bound by strong vines, so strong that I cannot cut through them. I immediately thought of your shop. You know about plants, right? Royal Gensha is what she needs. Okay. Sometimes called Everheart, the pink flowers of the Royal Gensha are made up of 2 large kidney-shaped petals. One of the few known ways to release the binding of Swift Snare is to apply a paste created from the sap of Royal Gensha. Okay, so a pink flower, 2 kidney-shaped petals. That'd be you, isn't it? 2 kidney-shaped petals. That's all it says, is just pink flowers. I'm glad that you could be so incredibly helpful. Okay. Interesting. So, Royal Gensha, release Swift Snare. Should have capitalized that. Hold on. If I'm gonna be completely honest here, You should probably not open the coffin that you found in your aunt's house that you just inherited. If I'm being totally transparent with you, that's just a really bad idea. Okay, so we've got 2 full shelves of medicinal, 2 full shelves of useful. So we're going to start filling in the bottom section here. We've got 1 shelf of poison so far, but I'm sure given the nature of this game, we'll probably have more before too long. So let's just start moving unidentified plants over to this side so that we have them all a little more compact and confined, and then we'll get on to the next day. We could probably go through the book and just start kind of presumptively tagging a bunch of these. But I feel like that would be a lot of time spent on something that we'll end up doing through gameplay anyways, and then we're just going to spend time hunting for tags instead of hunting for identifiers, so I think we'll just stick to this for now. Get everything as compactly over to the other side as possible. Make sure there's nothing else back this way. Nope, perfect. Okay. And then the other benefit to this is that I'm pretty sure we're going to have all of our unidentified flowers on one screen in one place, rather than having to scroll the entire shelf to see them. Yeah, everything is right here. So, let's just do a quick exploration. We went south of the Old Man. We didn't go to the Old Man. Let's go to the Old Man. The striking views at the top of the so-called Old Man of Coniston never fail to induce awe and wonder. Sadly, there are few people with the leisure to explore its heady heights. Today is just me and the sheep. Ah, but at least we got out and, you know, saw something nice. Won't complain about that. And another card from the deck. That was the symbol of the cult, wasn't it? Before she left, she returned to her hiding place and carefully retrieved the book. Her excitement building as she did. She couldn't articulate what was so alluring to her about the book, but by now it had become an obsession. 5 miles south of the tallest, but one... it grows in peace in the midday sun. 5 miles south of the tallest, but one... It grows in peace in the midday sun. So, 5 miles south of the second tallest? Grows in peace of the midday sun. Interesting. So, let's see if we can riddle that out real quick. 5 miles south of the tallest but one. Be kind of weird if we had a second tallest mountain marked, but the Daughters is another stone circle. "5 miles south of the tallest but one, it grows in peace in the midday sun." The tallest but one. It's the sea monster! Interesting. Oh, okay, so all of the mountains are marked with heights, so we're looking for the second tallest. So far the tallest is at a 978. Do I see any taller than 978? Hold on. 500. We're just gonna sweep this whole map real quick. Make sure there's nothing taller than 978. And then use that as our sort of, yeah, so there's actually perfect. To 978. So 978 is the tallest, which means 902, I believe, is the second tallest, 5 miles south. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The forest here is lush and vibrant. The birdsong feels enchanting, like the call of sirens. Nestled in the undergrowth under the shade of a birch tree, a plant grows. Oh, that's an interesting one, too. Okay. Let's move you over with the rest. I'll be able to quickly identify off one screen here. What do you got? I was able to strip away the swift snare vines and lift the lid with more than a little trepidation, I'll admit. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. To my relief, but also disappointment, the coffin contained nothing but dust. You just unleashed some kind of curse. At least that's what I thought at first, but when I looked closer, I discovered a golden amulet embedded in the gray ash. Okay, terrible idea. On the back of the amulet is an inscription that says, "With Solomon's scepter I awake." Solomon's scepter, that's a plant, right? I'm gonna ask you if you choose to follow this path to not do it here at my shop. Also known, alarmingly, as Hell's Gate, and sometimes Solomon's Scorn. Flowers of the plant are commonly used in witchcraft and other satanic practices. So again, I'm gonna ask you, if you follow through on this, do not do it here. Okay, it appears it's got sweet-smelling flowers grow along the stem. Okay. So it's not flowers at the top, it's flowers growing along the stem. So it could be that or that. And they're sweet-smelling flowers, we know that for sure. That just says dark purple flowers. Light purple flowers, the smell is alluring. And that shows 3-petaled flowers. Those are 3-petaled. Perfect. Oop, not up there. Yep, okay. Solomon's Scepter. And we got Long Veracund, sometimes called Witch's Remedy. The Long Veracund is believed to lift curses. Small leaves grow in pairs along the stem. Okay. So, this one we will now label as Solomon's Scepter for... I mean, witchcraft? I guess? It wasn't very specific, but it's known as Hell's Gate, so I can't imagine that it's too good. And then we'll plop this down here. And continue our study. Alright, who's next? Mailman! Welcome back. I heard a shepherd got killed by some wild beast up near the Sunside Stone Circle. Or Swinside Stone Circle. They say it slaughtered half his flock as well. People around here don't seem too bothered, but it's got them panicked down Foxfield Way. Is this letter from down Foxfield Way? Kentmere Eye. That's all it says, huh? Kentmere Eye. Let me take a look at the map real quick. Okay, that's Kentmere. Don't know what it means by Kentmere Eye, but I guess we can go to Kentmere and see if we find anything. I descend into a pleasant valley where the village of Kentmere is situated. On my way, I pass by Brockstone or Badger Rock which has always been popular with local children, who challenge each other to scramble up its craggy sides and make a beeline to the village church, St. Cuthbert's, which is sheltered by an ancient yew tree. There are many plants to admire amongst the headstones and tombs, but sadly nothing extraordinary for me to find today. Interesting. Okay. Kentmere Eye. What does that even mean? Oh, is it a case of I need to fill this scope to see something missing here? We're gonna leave this here, but we'll have to come back to it. Well, this is getting interesting. I was able to confirm that it was indeed gilded dendra that was used in the Swinside ritual site. That's a worrying sign. It's a plant that is used in several of the darker incantations. And it can't be a coincidence that the very same plant was used to poison the Arda. I know, right? There must be a connection between their other murder and the sisterhood. Or this other murder and the sisterhood. I need some mental clarity to think it through some more. Some maiden sorrow would help me a lot. Have we identified maiden sorrow yet? I don't think we have. No. Rubbing the soft leaves of this plant between one's fingers and thumb is said to help prevent the mind from wandering, providing a focusing effect. The flowers of this plant droop mournfully, but it is the thorns along its stem that are thought to lend it its name. Okay, so it is a thorned plant with drooping flowers. And we've only got one thorned plant with drooping flower. Single pink flower that smells pleasant. Doesn't say anything about the smell in here. Okay, so that is Maiden Sorrow. Plant is said to uncover that which is hidden, including buried treasure and secret writings. That's our red ebony. Hey, we needed that. Red ebony is extremely rare and not well studied. Blood has been spilled over this plant, which is where the red part of the name is believed to come from, since, confusingly, the large flower is in fact blue. Okay. We're gonna come back to that in 1 second. Okay, Maiden Sorrow for focus. You get a yellow tag, you get out of my way. And then we get to look at our red ebony. Because I need to find that. It has a large blue flower. Your red ebony. Hold on. Can I... Yes, okay. Red ebony for revealing the hidden. You are a very special plant. Thank you very much. Okay. Nothing to reveal there. What about on... It works. It does work. Great. But there's no hidden writing. Kentmere... Those glow. Anything in the bloodstain? Kind of silly question, I know, but... No. Okay. Anything on this? No. Kentmere Eye. Kentmere Eye. Just... We're getting to something interesting here. Okay, I don't think it's time for that yet. This is now actually usable. Are there... Okay, no notes on the Red Ebony page. Okay. Maybe notes on another page, but I think we're gonna have to find something else before we can figure out what Kentmere Eye means. It looks like I'm going to have to make a trip to Black Combe. Okay. Verona noticed something at the Swinside site that had me pondering. A piece of slate with a symbol drawn in it in black. Can't think of anywhere else around here that you get slate from. That and Bradley Miller keeps insisting that he saw something up at Black Combe. Sure. But then again, Bradley Miller does claim that fairies stole his wheelbarrow. Oh, poor Bradley. If I'm going to spend a night out in the hills, I'll want to take some eyebright with me. Aha! Eyebright we haven't identified yet. Wouldn't want to anyone sneaking up on me in the dark. Eyebright is our only other thorned plant, isn't it? You. Take care not to touch its brightly colored thorns. Brightly colored thorns. They will do no lasting damage. Venom lasts for days. Plant that only grows in the south and warmer climates. Long dead king known to improve eyesight at night, even in the darkest places. Okay, so that is our eyebright. Wild coal. The purple berries are recommended by physicians in place of a hair of the dog mentality as a tonic for those suffering from the effects of having drunk too much the night before. So it's a hangover cure. There are some who consider wild coal a sacred plant, perhaps owing to its rarity, and claim that it is bad luck to pick berries from it. Interesting. So, that's great. For vision in the dark. Again, more of a useful, not really medicinal. Seem to be a lot of those in this game. We still have to come back to the Kentmere Eye situation at some point. Does it ever stop raining in Undermere? Hey, it was clear the other day. You have a reputation in town for knowing about unusual plants. I do indeed. I need some gray sandfire. Nobody around here seems to even know what I'm talking about, but I hope I'm in the right place now. Gray sandfire. Sandfire has a tough outer bark, which has many useful properties. Some chew it as a form of dental hygiene, taking care not to swallow it, as it can cause unpleasant stomach distress. Flame-like tendrils give off a smoky scent, adding to the impression of a roaring fire. Flame-like tendrils. It's you, isn't it? Smells faintly of wood smoke, feels like rough glass paper. Okay. So, gray sandfire. And we gained an entry for Embersoul. Embersoul is thought to have protective properties. It is sometimes given as an offering to various deities in return for sanctuary. Produces flowers with many petals. Watch out for the leaves, they're razor sharp. So protective properties, razor sharp leaves. Alright. So we found gray sandfire, which has Dental hygiene properties, okay. Spray sandfire for dental hygiene. That is technically medicinal. So, it's the first time we've gotten something actually medicinal in a while. Okay, before we end the day, let's just take one more crack at the Kenthmere eye situation here. Hold on. No, okay. Kenthmere... Is there an eye symbol on this? There is. Hold on. So if we line this up so that we're directly over the square Kenthmere is in, the eye points us... Make sure we're fully aligned. Here. Why did I come here? Interesting. Okay. Hold on. Maybe I miscalculated that slightly. Hold on. If I'm directly over Kenthmere, maybe it wants me to click that one instead. Or maybe it wants me to be over the town like that. It's either that one or the one directly under that. That one right there. I think I can get some more energy by watering some plants, so we're gonna take one more crack at this. Because I think that I'm on the right track with the eye comment there. But if I am wrong, we're just gonna leave it be for the day. From Kenthmere, I follow the bearing of the eye and end up... Okay, so it's the one that it was on, not the one it was pointing to. End up in a small forest near Kendall. The woods are thick with briar and brambles, but amongst the tangled undergrowth, a type of flower is flourishing. Okay, so this is for a map compass. Perfect. Purple berries. We read about that on one of these. I think I can archive this at this point. Because I have the thing working now, so that should be able to be archived. This is part of that symbol, which is on this book, which was also... No, that's a different symbol altogether, okay. Alright, well, I think that's all we had to do for now. I am curious what this is. I don't happen to have a matching flower, do I? I'll have to come back to that. And end our day. Okay, pick a card, any card. Loic to Ilgil Head, Foxfield to Crinkle Crags. Interesting. At first, she felt free, but it wasn't long before the reality of her situation began to take its toll. She stole food when she was hungry and slept in makeshift shelters, not knowing where she was going, not coming. Eventually, she made her way to Grizzadale Forest. Okay. I'm guessing that I'm gonna take the 4 locations it says and basically draw lines between and find the intersection. That's what I'm thinking. So, Foxfield to Crinkle Crags. So we know Crinkle Crags is here. Is there a fox field in line with it? Maybe up and down. Not directly. Oh, there's Foxfield. Foxfield to Crinkle Crags. Okay, so that gives us kind of a range area here. So, what's that? G15. No, I'm sorry. D15 to M11. Loic to Ilgil. Loic to Ilgil. Loic to Ilgil. Ah, Ilgil Head. Okay, so Ilgil Head to Loic. I wish there was a great way to... And it shows like a cottage. Loic, Ilgil Head, Crinkle Crags to Foxfield. So is this a... Foxfield to Crinkle Crag. They're both on kind of weird diagonals. It's here, isn't it? No, it's not. Wait. There's the card. That's kind of a weird one, isn't it? We'll have to come back to this one at the end of the day, because this is kind of directly between those points, and it has that little cottage image that it shows there. Crinkle Crag to Foxfield, Ilgil Head to Loic. I wonder if we were to draw just a X over those. We're going to come back to this one a little bit later towards the end of the day when we've got more travel ability, but for now we are actually going to call it there for the episode. We'll look into that more next time around. Thanks so much for coming along on the adventure. If you're liking what we're doing, there's playlists on the channel where you can follow all the different games I've played. You can subscribe if you want to keep up, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.